Welcome to Friday CB family. It's Damio Kadara just checking in with everyone. Before we get into this amazing episode, I wanted to say welcome to the end of the week. Congratulations for making it to Friday. This is going to be a phenomenal episode and podcast with the owners of the Custom Sneaker Co., who are some friends of mine as well. But listen, we wanted to do one up better for you guys. We actually wanted to make you guys enjoy the whole experience a little bit more. So we're also going to add a $20 discount to any shoe that you purchase by typing in capital CB fam. I repeat, if you type in capital CB fam when going on their website to get a pair of shoes, they will be able to give you a $20 discount on the shoes. So definitely go over to Custom Sneaker Co. and get their shoes. They have some amazing personalized designs and I'm sure you guys will love. But better yet, you'll love this episode even more. So let's hop right into it. Enjoy. Bye.
Welcome CB family to the next episode of Young Hustling Entrepreneurs. Jeremiah and Audrey. Thank you guys for hopping on this call. Just give us a bit of introduction about who you guys are.
Okay, so my name's Audrey, and this is obviously Jeremiah. So we actually run a business, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Just a little bit about the background of how we met, how the business started, and our lives now, and what we hope to see in the future as well. So do you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
You said everything. But we're basically the co-founders, CEOs of the Custom Sneaker Co. Basically, one of our goals is to become one of the leading, actually probably the best custom sneaker group business in Australia. So that's one of the things we hope to achieve.
So the way that we actually thought of this idea, I'll just give a background of how we met first actually. So we were 15 and we met at church. So we met at a youth service and we've been together pretty much ever since. So it's been 4 years now. And at the beginning of our relationship, we were always thinking like, oh, how can we make money and create something that like is unique? Because I've been raised from a family that have businesses, like everyone in my family is business people. Jeremiah, what about your family? Not really?
My family's not really within the business type of industry, usually just more so just like their full-time jobs. No one's really entrepreneurs, so it's kind of good to move out of that perspective of getting a full-time job and trying to, branch out and make your own thing.
What we've done is Jeremiah, like I obviously have a little bit of like background in the business thing, just growing up and listening to it. So we pretty much merged both our ideas. He's a sneakerhead. He loves sneakers. And I really loved things that you could personalize, because like making your own custom thing is pretty much special to you because you have control over what you want and how you want it. So that's how we started off. So with both our brains together, we just created this business. We were actually in the snow in Mount Buller. So what happened was my uncle came over from overseas and he was like, so how do you want to make money in the future? What ideas do you have? And we were like, oh, we've been thinking about doing custom sneakers for like a while, but it was just all talk. There was not really much action to it. So I would say it was last year in September where we decided that we're going to write up our own business plan and just see how things go. So we did a lot of research into the market. We did a lot of research into other artists that do it and how they are now, like different designs that we could do, what's trending. So a lot of like research and a lot of time went into finding out what our specific niche was going to be, like in this custom sneaker industry. So yeah.
Awesome. And like, if we could just backtrack just a little bit. So you talked about kind of how you kind of grew up around business people. So like kind of being in that environment as a young girl, how did that influence your personality and kind of, going into high school? What were you kind of like in high school? Were you the introverted one, the quiet one, or were you always outspoken? Or
I would say I was the person that kind of kept to myself, but the way that I was raised was my mom used to always tell me like, oh, if you're going to work 9 to 5 jobs, you got to think about it as a triangle. Like the person at the top that you're working for is going to be rich and you're going to be the one that's working minimum wage or, just making someone else rich in the process. So she was like, in this time, you've got to create something to like be able to be rich yourself, like have people work for you and learn how you can get money to work for you instead. So that kind of like trickled in the back of my mind, like ever since I was little. And And I kind of shared that with Jeremiah, and he became really motivated as well to be able to create that, because we have obviously long-term goals as well. But yeah, I was really quiet in high school, I'd say. Yeah.
That's incredible. No, I like that, because like, especially about the making the money work for you, that's easily one of the most important principles when it comes to, you know, wealth creation.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Couldn't agree less. And, you know, it just like kind of freaked me out a little bit. Like, I just imagined my life. I was like, if I'm going to work 9 to 5 every day, like every week, and then I'm working, like I retire at the age of like 50 or 60, like I'm going to be living, like I don't have time to live my life. I'm going to be living my life to work for someone else. So that idea didn't really settle in for me. And it kind of like, it was more of a fear that made me want to do this. Yeah.
Totally get it. Fear of mediocrity. It's like you don't want to look back at even like, you know, 40, 50 saying like, I could have built this whole dynasty.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly right.
So Jeremiah, if we could like even flip it to you. So you said you were a sneakerhead. I know you're a sneakerhead because I hoop with you. So that's easy. But like, what kind of got you kind of, I guess, in that space of, okay, maybe I could actually create something? Because you guys talked about meeting at a youth group. So that means you guys are both probably still pretty young at the time. So Jeremiah, like, what was your personality kind of like before hopping onto that path? Can you guys hear me? Slow motion.
Sneakerheads, I mean. Yeah, it kind of froze a bit.
Yep, go now.
Going back to when I was about 15, 16, I wasn't really into the whole business aspect of things. I just always think to just get a regular 9 to 5 job, study, and then build my way up and just pretty much work for someone else. I never really thought of making, you know, my own company. But then after meeting her, we've been together for a couple of years, and then from there we just kind of thought, you know, we might as well do something and do some sort of collaboration that would, I don't know, conjoin both our minds together, what she likes, what I like, and then from there build something.
Dope, man. Simple. So you're probably super happy that you were kind of able to hear about kind of that way of thinking early. Because like definitely one thing that I've realized, especially with a lot of young entrepreneurs, is that they don't really understand where the money is. They just kind of sacrifice their time for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
exactly right.
Being young business owners, both of you, how do you guys manage haters, family, and friendships and relationships at this age so professionally? Because that's not easy for any business owner, let alone, you know, people in their early 20s.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been really, really, really tough. Just because he's working as well, just like make a little bit of money on the side. And I'm currently studying as well at the same time as well as working. So it's a bit tough, like in terms of being able to manage our time and still have time for each other and our families and stuff like that. But the way that we've done it is we pretty much prioritize, like, obviously now we see it more as like, we want this to be a long-term goal. We want this to we want to achieve goals in our business. So we're just prioritizing our business a little bit more now, because like the sacrifices are worth it now for like long-term in the future. Yeah. So that's how we've been thinking. We're just like, so if we get orders and we have other things to do, we'll make sure we get the orders done before we have a moment to rest for ourselves, which I know isn't good, but you know, it's what we love. So yeah, it doesn't feel like work. It's enjoyable.
And what's go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go. It's okay.
Just like adding to that in terms of like that work ethic, did you just develop that through owning the business, or were you kind of both just like natural hard workers?
What would you say?
On my end, I mean, I usually love getting up early and because we both play basketball at a pretty high level. So I mean, like with me, it's usually just like that grind that like it doesn't stop. So you know, I pretty much have like that kind of work ethic from basketball that kind of naturally jumped onto owning a business. Yeah.
And I'd say with me, I'm just a bit of an overachiever and I work too hard.
That's good though.
And I've learned that from when I was young, like just my study routines, going to school. So I've just kind of like put that in there. And it's because it's something enjoyable that we actually both love to do. It doesn't really feel like work. So yeah, some aspects of it do, but not the whole thing.
There's the stressful times of it, but then the actual like the concepts and like the whole routine of creating a sneaker is like doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're just doing it as a hobby. It's like it's the funnest thing. It's probably like a dream job.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And how many hours are you guys putting into, I guess, that dream job per week? If you could kind of just give like a rough estimate.
I would say, I'm not gonna lie, I would say like literally 24/7.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
it's nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could be going to bed and then I see someone message us or like ask about how much things are, how they can put an order, and I'll just be up at 3 a.m. texting them like how to do it. And I'm like up at 2 a.m. He's up at 2 a.m. fixing up the website. So it's just continuously like working. But as I said, it doesn't really feel like work. It's really enjoyable. And we've learned a lot through the process of building this business. Majority of it, like we started from not knowing a lot and just coming with our research and our like theory skills that what we want to like give out and create. But we didn't really know like how we were going to do that. But we kind of went with it.
Just did it.
Yeah, just did it. I was like, you only live once. Yeah.
That's the way you got to go. Like I feel like again like linking it back to the younger crowd, a lot of people kind of get fear of just like that failure and attempt, so they kind of just procrastinate until the hunger dies down, you know. But you got to jump in. Like I'm sure you guys were probably thinking initially, like were you guys thinking it would kind of grow to the level that it is, you know, as quickly as it did, or did you guys kind of have doubts in the beginning?
I mean, in the very beginning there was a little bit of doubt, like what's going to happen, will this succeed? But then by time we did what we had to do. We made our customs, and then
we did it regardless. We would have still done it. Yes, if we still had 200 followers, I would still be doing this.
It's just the grind, you know. You just can't stop.
And someone even DM'd us on Instagram and was like when we were still small, and he was like, how much will it cost to buy your business off you? And I was like, at the time I was like, what are you even talking about? Like that sounds like an insult. And I just messaged him and I was like, this business is not ever going to be sold. Like our brand is not ever going to be sold. Like even if you're going to offer me 2 million, because like this right now we just see the potential that we could become multi-millionaire businesses.
I mean, you kind of figure when someone tries to buy your company, you automatically you already see that growth and potential already from like an early stage. You can see that happen. You're just like, this guy wants to buy the company so early. He might be able to grow into something. So why don't we, you know, keep it for ourselves? Yeah. We do this because this is our thing. We go to the next level.
Yeah,
be the best that we can.
You already had investors looking at you guys from the start. You're right. That's a pretty big giveaway that maybe you should stick with it. But what like makes your industry so like much better than, for example, like, you know, another, you know, entrepreneurial venture, like someone that might want to start an Amazon or Shopify business? Because you, at the end of the day, you guys are selling products online. What kind of makes you guys stand out compared to other online competitors?
I feel like the one thing that makes us stand out is the time, the effort, and attention to detail we put into every custom. It's not just a thing where we make something and then we give it to someone. This is what I call true detail at its fun. This is art in every step.
And I think something that makes us stand out even more is when we were doing our research, we actually looked into Australian custom sneaker businesses, and there was nothing at all. So we spent ages looking. We were like, who are our competitors in Australia? We know that in the USA, we have like Drip Creations and stuff like that. But here, there was absolutely nothing. So we were like, we've got to take our chance now. And ever since we've started to build this business, we've noticed that there are more Australian artists, which is really good because it's growing the trend and the culture over here of custom sneakers. But yeah, it was really good that we started early. We just grabbed onto it and just took our opportunity and chance at the time. Yeah.
So, no, that's you're really right. Like, there's really not many people, like I mentioned at the start of the video, in Australia, period, that are reselling shoes at a high level. Everyone knows in America there's crazy levels of sneakerheads that are doing high numbers. Yeah. But by this decade, you guys could easily kind of represent that down here, which is dope. So, like, for a university student, because I'm in university myself. So if I was a university student and I was about to graduate, and I realized that, you know, entrepreneurship is a great idea, I wanted to start building my wealth, and I started to, you know, want to create my own business venture that's similar to you guys, what advice would you be to a graduate that wants to build something for himself? to start and to get to your goal and to get to that kind of level that you guys are at?
I would tell you to research into your specific niche that you want. Create something that's unique, that stands out, because that's what's going to give you your name and your platform. And literally, I would say make use of social media. Social media is so important these days. It's such a big platform. And yeah, pretty much that. I would just tell them, like, find what you want to sell, like have a business plan for your business, get an online store, because like the good thing about these days is that you don't need to like rent out a store on the side of the street and pay for that. Like you only need to pay for your website to stay up. So I would just tell them, go for it. Literally, yeah.
That's simple, huh? I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to that as well?
She basically said everything that I wanted to say, really. I mean, for me, it'd be the same thing, just research on the thing that's trending at the moment. If not, try come up with something that's unique, as what she said. It's all about being, I guess, unique in a way, but also giving that little touch that's like you've never seen before.
Yeah, research is really important, especially when you're trying to build your own brand, because you want to know what's trending in the market today. What are people going to buy? What are people going to spend their money on? What is your target audience? You need to look into all of that, because then you're going to have too much of a broad audience, too much of a broad market, and you won't be able to make as many sales.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would encourage a lot.
Yeah. And you guys, you do your marketing really, really well as well. Like you guys, like you said, you grew from a couple hundred followers. Now you guys have like what, over 3,000 last time I checked?
6,000 now.
6,000. We just
My
reached
bad.
6,000.
Doubled again. How do you guys get your marketing so efficient? Like talk to us about that as well.
So what we do is we're just making sure that we're being active on Instagram, constantly posting. Facebook pages are really important as well.
Yeah.
We also want people to go into our website, of course, because that's how we get sales. That's how we share our work around majority of the time. So we're always doing Facebook ads to promote our business, because we see it as, yes, we have 6,000 followers right now, but those 6,000 followers only know about us. There's thousands, hundreds and thousands of people in Australia or across the world. There's millions that don't know that these things exist. So you want to reach out to them.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can reach out to them without just having your followers only is going through ads, is because it like reaches out to those people for you. Yeah. So that's how we went about it. I would say ads is the only thing that, like, for us is that like kind of shared our business with everyone. And like our business is so good that people are just naturally drawn to it when they see it. So that's how we grew so fast. We also did, what else do we do?
Mainly just advertisements.
Yeah. We're also partnered with the Custom Movement as well. So that's a worldwide global company. It's actually a marketplace for custom sneaker artists as well. So we've used that as an extra
platform.
Yeah, an extra platform to use to be able to sell our things, get our name out, and that's been really good so far. Yeah.
How'd you guys get in contact with them?
We actually just sent them a message on Instagram and just asked them, by any chance, would you be able to do a collaboration with us? And they just said, yeah. And then they sent us a link to sign up, and basically we just got started there. And it actually kicked off pretty quick. We actually got, I think, 4 orders from there, like, instantly.
Yeah.
Insane. For like one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
And all you had to do was ask. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like 4 high levels of success, because you guys have mentioned about your work ethic, how many hours you guys put in on a weekly basis, but you guys also talked about it becoming a multi-million-dollar company in years to come. What kind of levels of sacrifice should, entrepreneurs between the ages of 18 to 30 be expecting to get their business to the thousands and thousands a month like you guys have achieved?
It's honestly a massive sacrifice of
Time.
Everything. It's your time with your friends. It's your time with your family. It's time to sleep. Like your sleep.
Yeah.
Like you need to put. If you want this business to work, my advice is to put 110% of your time into it. Like you need to put all.
Also, another thing to add on to that, I would say is making sure that, I don't know how to explain this. I just kind of blank. Do you want to talk about it? What was the question again? Sorry, I just got lost in my thoughts and I was thinking about all the stuff that was happening. I just got too excited.
That's fine. No, I was asking about what would someone between the ages of 18 to 30 have to sacrifice to achieve levels of high success like you guys are doing right now?
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. Invest in your own business.
Absolutely.
So that's a sacrifice because right now we aren't getting paid. And we don't care about getting paid. A lot of the money that we've earned from our business has gone straight into our business to grow it even more. So when I say grow it even more, I mean buying better equipment, buying more materials, paying for more ads, paying for better photography, quality of photography and everything. So that's what we've been putting our money into directly. And we haven't touched it ever since. None of it has come to us at all. And we don't plan on touching it until we feel like we've achieved a lot more. Yeah.
Incredible. And if you were to put, because you can't really put a date. I mean, you can in business, you can put dates on things, but if you could put kind of a year that you want to have, that pinnacle or kind of that one of that, massive maybe your first million, what year would that be? And how are you planning to get there as well, if you kind of break it down in kind of a system for the audience?
I would say my goal for the end of this year is to at least have 50 to 100,000 of sales. And when I say and then I don't know, I would say 2020, it's really achievable. It's really hard to tell right now. But we're already going we're moving really fast right now.
We've only been going for about, I think, 6
months.
6 months. We're already at 6K. I reckon by the next 6 months to make a full year of how long our company's been running for, we would easily make at least, I don't know.
I could say, I would honestly say, because I see the potential in our business and a lot of people do, I could say it's very achievable to get 100K by the end of this year.
Easily.
Oh, for sure.
If we put our money right, So my long-term goal is to hit 1 million probably before I turn 23. That's for me. So that would be 25, 24 for Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, you're old ass, man. Nah, that's dope. Now you guys are, it's cool to see people striving in a niche which people kind of know about but don't take advantage about. Everyone, for the most part, loves different types of shoes. You guys are just adding a little personal flair to it and blowing it up, which is dope. So if you guys could kind of give us one sentence that would sum up the secret to your success so far, what would that be for the person listening? One sentence.
You can come up with this one sentence.
You can't put something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard. There's so much I can say, but.
What's the Wait, what was the sentence again?
What's one sentence that would basically sum up the secret to have the level of your success?
Invest your money into the right places. That's going to grow you money, because if you can invest into your own business, your money will not start to make money. I mean, your business will start to make money on its own. I would say that, but there's a lot of different sentences. There's paragraphs as well that I could say. It's a bit hard to sum it down to one. What would you say?
I mean, I don't want to copy off you, but I feel like investing back into your business is probably the, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the main thing that will get you success.
A lot of people in this industry that we can see, because we've done a lot of research, obviously, they don't tend to grow as big and as fast because they're not really smart with where to put their money. So the money that they make off sales, they're not really thinking about long term.
Yeah, short-term thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. No, thank you guys so much for that. So any final piece of advice for the young hustlers out there and for this decade, essentially, any final advice that you guys want to give?
I'd say work hard, find out what you want to do, create a business, be your own boss, make your own money, make yourself rich. Don't work for anyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
Literally, that's what my mom told me. I'm gonna pass it down.
That's the mindset. Don't work for anyone else. Work for yourself.
Yeah.
Build your own empire. Be successful for yourself, and you'll see where it takes you.
Yeah.
Champion. Now, thank you guys so much. And where can everyone find you guys? So we know you guys got Instagram. Where else can people find you? You just want to let us know?
On Instagram, we're at the Custom Sneaker Co. We've also got Facebook, so the Custom Sneaker Co. as well. You can also find us on the Custom Movement, the website, thecustommovement.com. And if you search us up on the profile in the search bar, will be the Custom Sneaker Co. there too.